tell you. 45 minutes, you promise, right? Okay. Yeah, I have to say, what a singular honor it is to be here with all of you. For those I haven't met yet, my name's Crosby. I've known Lindsay almost as long as her mother has. It's an extreme, it's been a while, yeah, it has been a while, and in preparing for this, I've had plenty of time, but I don't know if you've ever had to give one of these speeches that the words don't come. Well, actually, a ton of words come, but they don't make any sense. And I'm trying to figure out what to really narrow it down to. I don't really have 45 minutes left, so just to put your mind at ease. But I did jot a couple of things down, if you indulge me while I rely on the technology. First of all, as father of the bride, it is my privilege to welcome you all here on behalf of Leslie, Lindsay's mom, Rita and Bill, Mike's mom and stepdad, and Jim and Mary, Mike's dad and stepmom. And this is just, could not happen without all of you. But let me also give props to those who couldn't be here, the grandparents, whose intention and actions made all of this possible. And so they're in our hearts, even if they're not in our presence. I want to point out a couple of things about Lindsay, as is appropriate to the occasion. Lindsay is our eldest child. And those of you who have more than one child, you know that that's how you learn to parent. You have an oldest child.
A hamster.
That's pretty much how it goes. That's right. And as a result, Lindsay grew up to be a very patient, loving, and
amazing,
mostly tolerant child, while we kind of learned the ropes. And her brother and sister are beneficiaries of that, though I'll let you talk to them on your own. She is not only loving and patient, but she is also very clear and direct as to her intentions. So, for those of you who know Lindsay, you know I speak the truth. In fact, when she was about 3 or 4 years old, I remember we were sitting on the couch. Peter was there, and Lindsay kind of broke into the conversation and said, "I'm going to get married," just like that. And Leslie said, "Well, Lindsay, who are you going to marry?" And Lindsay thought about it for a moment. She said, "I'm going to marry Daddy." Can you imagine how I felt? You know, I'm just busting with pride. And then I hear Leslie say, "Well, Daddy's going to need to buy you a nice big ring." I don't know how it worked out after that. I know there was a new turtle-shaped sandbox the next day, and it was sort of a compromise, I think. It was the negotiation had begun. Anyway, honey, I am so glad you waited for the right ring and the right guy. Absolutely. Let me also say that Lindsay was, when she was still young enough to allow me to tuck her into bed at night, our ritual was, sweet dreams, and remember, it's good to be pretty, but it's better to be smart. So, and she would say, "But it's best to be both, right?" Yeah. So I guess that programming did really kind of work out. You might want to try that. Anyway, thanks to the diligence and the encouragement of her mom, Lindsay did turn out to be both beautiful and smart. And we are so proud of you and so thrilled for the journey you're about to embark upon. But now, if I may turn my attention to your husband, who I don't know nearly as well. But when I first met Mike about 3 years ago, was it about that time, I don't think you were quite so distinguished. But my first impression, I don't think I've ever told you this until now. You were the handsome young prince. I mean, I'm not kidding. Do you see that? Did any of you ever see You see
Someone,
that.
at
I
least
know
one
you've seen
person.
that. If you've ever seen the Cinderella or the Snow White movie, that's the guy right there. That's the model. And that was my first thought. My second thought was, he could be a heartbreaker. I don't know. This guy, he's just a little too good looking. And then it turns out he's smart and he's likable. He's quiet though, you know, which is something that gives a father pause, because we don't really know. You don't want your future son-in-law to be too out there, of course. Keep a little back, but it turns out that you're a serious man, and you don't express yourself until you get to know somebody, which is an admirable trait. And there's nothing wrong with being serious, as long as you leave some time for fun. And I gotta say, this is fun. I hope you realize my son-in-law has a budding future as a wedding planner. This is all his story. This is the guy. I think it's and really a charming party. And what it demonstrates to me, Lindsay likes things perfect, and so does Mike, and Mike's going to make them that way. So that's a beautiful. So Mike had sent me a text in January saying, are you available tomorrow? It was Sunday, I think. I got this text, and I'm thinking, oh, what's this? Oh, it's that. Oh. So the next day, I was trying to prepare, how should I respond to this? Because I hadn't ever had that occur before. And I thought, well, I haven't really gotten to know this guy very well. I'm going to give him a thorough grilling. So I got 3 questions for you, pal. First was, well, why Lindsay? And I'll let him tell you what he said. It was beautiful. And I said, well, why now? And I'll let him tell you what he said, but this was a good time. And the third question, you'll have to know me better. I'll have to tell you later. But the answer had to be yes. I was so thrilled. And, well, if you would all take your glass in hand. I hope you have something in it. I just want to close with a thought about family. Because, let's face it, that's what it's about. Brothers and sisters are gifts. Those of you who have brothers and sisters, you might wonder, how can I return this gift? But they're more valuable, more precious than you can possibly appreciate at some moments in life. But friends are the family you choose. And you are the family that supports this loving couple in the adventure they're about to embark upon. So let's celebrate the occasion, recognizing the importance of family. We're all part of the family that Lindsay and Michael have brought together for this occasion, and let's